Hey guys, I know some of my YouTubers or subscribers like appliance videos. This is a classic dehumidifier by Danby. I believe it's out of Guelph, Ontario. Let's see the back here. 1 HP. Let's see, 2.30 grams, 8 ounces, or 8.10 ounces of, where's the gas? Why am I not seeing this? Oh, just a refrigerant, R134A. Anyway, the issue with it is it's not sweating and it's not basically doing anything now. The compressor does turn over. It just doesn't do anything. Throws air, that's about it. And obviously it hasn't been cleaned, so I'm probably it's gonna look pretty bad when I take this thing apart. Okay. It's always had a hose on it. It's never had to use the bucket. Oh man, there's your problem. No, it's one of many problems, I'm sure. The filter's never been cleaned. You have to clean it once in a while. I think when they bought it and put it in the basement, they never ever cleaned it, and yeah, it shows. I mean, even the dirt's gotten past the filter. That's brutal. So this thing was probably running on high head pressure. So one or two things could be wrong with it. Probably the compressor is toast. You're probably wondering, how do I know this? Well, if it gets hot enough to actually change the color of the plastic, that's bad. So there's the side. Oh, I'll change the view here. See that? The other side's got a little bit caked up. Even the blower motor has got a little bit of hair stuck in it with oil and everything else. There's a compressor there. Another thing it could be is it could be rubbed out. There could have been two pieces of copper or copper rubbing against something else over time, and it rubbed a hole through it, and it's sprung a leak. Anyway, I'm going to take it outside, and we're going to wash it down before I do anything on it. Give it a chance to dry, and we'll go into it and see what it is. She cleaned up pretty good. This isn't a good sign, by the way. It's normal to get that when it first starts up, because when the pressure is building. But for it to stay like that, that means only one thing. It's low in refrigerant. So there probably does have a leak somewhere. The return is like so hot, you can't even touch the compressor. It's that hot. Get a reading off it. 214, 213. I think that's a little hot, don't you think? Like literally, you cannot touch it. 216. So it's definitely low on refrigerant. This side here, which should be cold and sweaty, because it is. I'm in the basement now, so this should be cold enough to sweat. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit longer, see if this goes away, and if this actually starts to sweat, then it's fine. But at the moment, it is not. I'm gonna be educated guess that it's done. The return is like piping hot, and nothing is happening here. Like it's not even cold, and that's all it does. It just frosts up. It's double thickness of what it should be. Like I said, it's normal for it to do that when it's at building pressure. Like I mean, it could be two things. It could be the compressor's damaged and it's not building enough pressure, or it's just a simple fact that there's a pinhole leak somewhere here, and it's just all the freon's leaked out. That sucks. So basically, well, I'll leave the rad and that in there. I'm going to take the fan, the capacitor, I'm going to take that out, see if I can maybe build a small little compressor, air compressor out of it, fill a tank, Nothing goes to waste. You even take the little thermometer here that measures the temperature and whatever else is in this electrical box. And the rest goes to the curb. Some junk guy will come around and grab it for the copper. But she's done. So if it does that after a couple of hours of use and it's still cold, well, it's not cold. I mean, if it's still warm, then even the return after it goes through and it comes back here is warm. So here's basically what it looks like with the cover off the control panel. There's a main cap here. I believe that's for the fan. This main relay here, that one's for the compressor, obviously. These two little ones here are for the fan. What else we have in here? That's about it. Relay, I mean a regulator, a couple of capacitors. It actually is fused, which is a surprise. There's a fuse in there. So I'm going to keep pulling it apart. A few areas that are actually really corroded and worn down. Like there's a groove worn right there where it's been rubbing. That's right at the motor and down here. So I have to guess it probably leaks out just a tiny bit right there, and it's just enough to put it into a low pressure situation. So I ended up taking out the fan with the shroud. Obviously it's not going to work without it. I took the starter cap for the compressor and a few tidbits. I'm going to keep the board, take the relays and that off it. I am keeping this copper thermostat. I don't know what it's for, high or low. I think it's for cold. I'm going to use that for my hydroponics setup. I'm going to leave the cord on for whoever picks it up at the curb, but I'm going to cut the plug off just in case someone grabs it and decides they want to take it home and plug it in, not knowing that there's wires hanging out and everything else. I mean, there's the heat this compressor's been having. It literally burnt the wire that's used to ground it. It's pretty bad, and it's still freaking hot. I can feel the heat off it from here. So we'll leave what gas is in there. I'm not going to put it out into the atmosphere, or at least I'm not going to do it. And the scrap guy can come pick it up. You can get the cord for copper and all the copper that's in it. That's pretty much how I do it. If I figured I could use this filter, I'd keep that as well. But I don't need it. Later, guys.